Hello. Starting it off really hot with the Armadillo chest plate. I've been really busy the last few days, really the last week and a half. Did some clue scrolls, really tried to get out of my comfort zone, not only in PvM, but, just in things across the game. I realized I had grinded all this way and I didn't really, stop to smell the flowers or something. Anyway, did some clues, got some good rewards. You're seeing them now. Easy clues are solid. Somebody had told me with the re-rolls you have, like pretty much a 100% chance to get fortunates. I think you can see just out of these few that's not even close to the case. And if you look up easy clue scroll videos, there are people that have put in so much more effort than me to kind of show you these odds. I mean, of course, they didn't catalog them, but when you watch them, you can see how much this actually occurs. So that's pretty nice. But I did a lot just grinding on my account, and it's weird to get to the points where I can actually boss like this, pretty leisurely too. Don't really have to worry about much. Money's not really an issue because I have my tier 92s, and that's all I need really. Went back to Kree, got another drop, it pays the bills. I like Kree because you can turn on penance and just chill. But we also had a clan thing where they did a drop party, so shout out to Screw the Stigma and everybody else that came in. Didn't really have cash at the time, so I couldn't put much in, but man, did I profit. I think I walked out of there with like an extra 10 mil. I know I got an extra penguin token. Don't know why I like those, because they just crash all the time. But could be worth something someday, so in the junk tab it goes. But I really enjoy doing these clan events too. I hope we do more in the future because I know we're a relatively small clan. The fact that we had this many people in a room was pretty crazy. So that was enjoyable. Yeah, and speaking of, if you need a clan, feel free. I will invite you. Pretty friendly people, not super into PvM, but nevertheless, speaking of that, one of them came with us. Acid, I think he's known as Jerome Powell on RuneScape now, but anyway, he came with us, and it seemed like he wasn't very comfortable with Nex, but he did pretty well. Acid Path, there it is. And, yeah, grinded out some Nex. Unfortunately, he died, so we had to finish off Nex ourselves. But I've done quite a few Nex kills at this point. I feel pretty confident saying a duo is certainly not a super difficult thing to do. Like, you can see where it gains a lot of health here off a soul split, that I probably need to be putting out a little more DPS, and I have ways in my head of how I'm going to do that with Legacy. You can see I brought the Zeros God Sword along, and that's because during Blood Phase sometimes she'll pray range, and yeah, don't want to halt in Blood Phase, that's for sure. Like, the last phase kind of sucks, but Blood Phase is something that'll end the kill, pretty much. There's one time where we actually ended up getting her to 18,000 HP, because we just failed Blood Phase so hard. But luckily, the guy that's with me, Tom Hardy, is one of my in real life friends. We've been RuneScape gamers together for a good 4 years, and when you're able to like sit right next to somebody and be like, yo, do this, it's like we can coordinate Blood Phase so much easier. And yeah, stuff that normally would be a problem isn't. I'm really looking forward to the day where I can do this without, a yak and do it comfortably. But I'm enjoying my time so far, especially when I actually get a drop. It's nuts. I actually found out it's a 1 in 17 drop rate, so per kill, you have a chance to make quite a bit of money, and we did. We got a Pernix top. Dude died, but, when you do kills with me, we all eat. So I went and sold it. It was like an 11 mil split or something like that, which is really not that bad. I mean, if we're talking about the effort it takes to kill, not bad. Got some more clue scrolls coming up. Definitely want to do more easy clues, and I want to do elites eventually. I think I did one in this time. I didn't really show the casket, but I don't know. I have a hard time buying the elites are the way to go. I have them in my bank, and I mean, there's some quests that I need to do, but I should be able to do most of the steps, and I just didn't find them fun. It's like you had to go everywhere in RuneScape. It felt like a quest that didn't have all the answers there, and it just, I don't know. It's fun sometimes. Back to Armadillo, of course. That's my breadwinner. And, yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. And I also went to Twin Furies. I needed to grind out a lot of reputation for Vindicta. I've still got Vindicta at 50%, even after, a solid 100 kills plus at Twin Furies. I'm really impressed that I got this crest of Zamorak on 0% reputation. And, yeah, solid loot, to say the least. Definitely a very decent drop anytime you get a crest. And that happened not only once, but twice. When I went back with Tom Hardy, same dude from the next kill, we ended up getting another one. So that was a very decent split between the two of us. I've been pretty happy with my luck so far. It's like Vindicta. I think I got 2 drops and the pet within 100 kills. I'm now sitting at 375. So, it does swap back and forth. I know people shout YouTuber luck or whatever, but there's definitely a lot of time put in here. I think I'm nearing 1,000 kills at Kree, and that's because what you're seeing right here is just me chilling with Soul Split on, keeping Auto Retaliate on, making sure Penance is on. Half the time when she spawns, Kree is the first thing that, gets triggered by my Auto Retaliate. So yeah, pretty decent. And this is where I actually got my 3rd combat pet, if you can believe it. Very happy about that. Finally got I think it's the Jack of Blades title. I'm not crazy about getting pets. I'm not a completionist by any means. And I don't really want to be a completionist because I've seen how much work that takes, and that's not really, that doesn't sound, it sounds like a job, not a game. So, love to get there eventually. Maybe if I get bored enough, I'll start chasing pets. But it is cool to knock some out, especially even before I've gotten a lot of 99s. And I'm actually nearing 99 HP. That's definitely going to be my next one. Currently, while, editing over this, I'm like 100k XP away. So definitely by the next video, I should have some. That's at least 1 Reaper task away. Grabbing some more armor gloves, and then I started flipping. Now, as you probably know if you play RuneScape 3, the margins on these things are huge. I mean, I was able to flip barrow sets for 700k a piece, which doesn't sound like much until you do that 10 times. And you're making 7 mil with very little effort. The problem is not selling them, the problem is buying them at such a low price. I don't know how I got lucky, but I remember I tried to see the price, buy it, and then sell it, and it would not sell. So I was like, okay, if it wouldn't sell at 40% below, literally nobody's buying these, I can snipe that in. So it's definitely a rare case. If you want to see more flipping in the future, just let me know, because I used to do it a lot back in the day. But nowadays, I'm mostly just PVM. Here's a scuffed Raxi kill. You saw me get pulled in. Raxi is so much fun with a Saren God bow. Oh, it's so much fun. It's so much more relaxing. You can just kind of chill, wait till 3k HP, and basically hit her down to 0. So the putrid wave or whatever that chases you around, I mean, maybe 2 to 3 hits, 4 if you're really unlucky with bow shots, and yeah, she's dead. And Araxor up to this point has been very generous to me. I got a web once that I used to disassemble. I've gotten the top and the bottom leg piece. And now I've finished the leg. That's 137 mil. Very happy about that. Very good luck. It's a 1 in 40 drop, so I'm really, I should have done another 50 kills before I saw that. So I was super stoked to see some good luck coming from one of the highest tier bosses that I actually frequent. And threw it in the GE immediately because, you know how weapons are. They rise up super high, they fall super low, and I just don't want to be caught on the back end of that. I know that my tier 92s are kind of stuck with me, but I treat those like the tier 99 prayers. They cost a lot of money, they're worth it, they're going to make it back. Try not to think about it. And then here's something else I wanted to talk about. So a long time ago, I saw that the rare item tokens had turned into oddments. And as you probably know, these rare items that you can buy with the tokens, usually now oddments you can buy with them, they usually end up being discontinued after a while and becoming tradable. So I thought it's a good investment for me to, use oddments and make sure that if I don't really like that reward, that I convert to oddments. And what's interesting here is you'll see that I actually got 30 keys because they were half off in the store. You got to check that all the time. There are some great deals flying around. And by the time I was done with my 30 keys, because of all the times 5s or times 6s or times 10s that happen in the treasure hunter thing, I was able to recoup the oddments that I spent very easily. So you can kind of see my oddments in the bottom right and how they went down, but they went right back up pretty quickly. And yeah, and I'm using mostly these lamps to boost my prayer up. I don't think I'm going to go for one of the crossbows. I mean, the criminal bolts are amazing. Don't get me wrong. Don't let me tell you that they're anything other than absolutely amazing. But the reality is I have a Saren God bow that definitely does the job for a lot of what I want to do right now. So I figured, let's get something permanent that I don't have the instinct to sell all the time. And that's going to be tier 99 prayers. So whenever I get these, if I get a lamp like a prismatic or something like that, throw it on a prayer. That's going to save me money too, because I don't have to go spend money on bones to train that. And yeah, and then eventually I'll just have tier 99s under my belt, and that's an extra 2% DPS, which is just incredible. And here's me getting 97 prayers, so I'm getting closer. Getting very close. And as I go through this with Vindicta and Gorvik and bossing and killing and trying to get these new personal bests or trying to get these rare drops, that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing over the next probably few months to not only build my bank, but build up the account so that I can access higher tier stuff. I'm perfectly aware that Legacy is much weaker, and also it's much easier to die on insta-kill mechanics from bosses. So I want to make sure I don't come in half-cocked. I want to make sure that I'm ready to face past Araxi. I think it's already good that I can kill Araxi, but that's because I have the Saren God bow. We all know that. So if I'm going to be taking on anything higher than that, I need to be better prepared, and I'm on my way.